So,
Right.
we like to use certain racial terms on the channel, but not in a racial way, only in a comedic way. So there's always going to be the Karens of the world that will still take offense to it.
Right.
But if you break it down, we're not using it to be offensive. We're trying to make an offensive topic funny. If that makes sense.
And not to compare you to the comedic genius of Dave Chappelle, but
exactly. No, exactly.
You've seen the Sticks and Stones.
Dave Chappelle is one of the greatest comedians, and we all in our group agree.
Well, what you're saying is you aim to do kind of something like how we do. Okay, I got you. That makes sense.
Alright, what up, you guys? I'm Bryson Smith.
And I'm Javin, and this is Etcetera. Yeah.
There it is, right there. So we got a guest in the building today. He goes by the name. Let him introduce himself.
What's up, guys? I'm in the part of the Danny Mullen crew. You can call me Inland Iggy. Find us on Danny Mullen YouTube channel.
That's what's up. So
We'll link all the information below.
yeah, we'll have all the links in the description. I'm glad he's here because he's super cool. It's like we went to high school together, but this is like my first time actually meeting him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to hear his input on things as far as even meeting Danny. What is his name? Danny Mullen. Danny Mullen and things of that nature. So can you tap into that for a little bit?
Yeah, actually, it was only a couple years ago. I want to say 2018. Yeah, 2018 around October.
Okay.
You know, I was just sitting in my garage, fucking smoking weed.
Yeah, you seem like the type.
Scrolling through YouTube, and I just came across this. It was YouTube kept throwing me this one video that he did, and I had never watched him before, so I finally watched it, and it's called "Crashing My High School Reunion." And the dude basically just goes to his 10-year high school reunion, gets obliterated, and makes a bunch of like inappropriate fucking jokes to his whole class, gets kicked out. And I was like, I fucking love this guy. I'm for this energy. Okay. So I like binge watch his videos. I find him on Instagram. He only had like 40,000, 35,000 views or subscribers at this time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he was like real small. And I just happened to follow him on Instagram, and he made a post saying like, hey, I'm making a video with some fans that are coming out. Any fan that wants to be in the video, just come out, drive to LA, be here on this date at this time. And I responded. I was like, dude, I can't make it on this Sunday at this time. You're only like 45 minutes from me.
Right.
So I show up, and apparently he had like 10 people lined up to come up, and I was the only one that showed up. So
really?
Yeah, like I was like, all right, cool, I'm for it. So there was already another fan that he had brought in like even earlier before me. His name's Fan Jerry. Shout out Fan Jerry.
Okay.
But
shout out Fan Jerry.
he initiated me by basically doing Fan Jerry-esque activities and stuff he had, and Danny's also done in his past videos. So I got whipped a little bit that day. I got a tattoo. I actually got Danny's initials tattooed on me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's like a brotherhood thing.
Yeah, it's deep.
Wow. Okay.
We did some fucking pranks. And then at the end of the video, we jumped off the Venice Pier freshly after I got the tattoo. A real wise idea on my part, but and that was the video. I was initiated into the crew, and then ever since then, it's just been we added a couple people since then, and then we've grown our crew, and now we're at 500,000 subs.
Wow, that's super dope, man. That's dope.
Did
you want to say something, Javin?
Oh, I just kind of wanted to you to elaborate on like the kind of content you make and stuff like that.
Okay. I was gonna say what it felt like when I seen a few videos. I'm like, this is kind of like, I feel like it's targeted specifically towards like white people. Like that would be I feel like his audience is like mainly like kind of like white people. That's what I think.
Kind of. I will not lie. A big demographic of ours is white.
That's what I'm saying. I feel that from them.
We're kind of like, in the sense of the Nelk Boys, we are more put out to an age demographic. In the way I see it, Danny does it more as of a comedic stance,
right?
And he's a little bit older. I mean, he's in his 30s. You know, I'm only 24, but he studies comedy, so he does it for anyone. He does it more for like a comedic standpoint. His fans are like the comedy fans,
right?
But our demographic of fans is around 14 to like 30. Real young men.
Really?
Yeah, that's a pretty good demographic, though. I mean, it's kind of like and I don't know how you like him, but like Filthy Frank, Filthy
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah.
he
We
kinda
get
had
compared a
similar-
lot to Filthy Frank.
I don't even know who Filthy Frank is. I'm so out of the loop.
That's an old YouTube. Do you know
Joji?
Joji.
Oh yeah, he Javin showed
Yep.
me.
Yeah, Joji is was Filthy Frank.
I met Joji though as the musical artist though.
Okay.
So I'm way late to meeting him.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know either, and so like I had to like start doing YouTube to
Okay.
find out about that. I was like, I watched like a couple of Filthy Frank videos back then, but I didn't really know who he was.
How do you
Okay.
feel being compared to him?
I'm alright with it. To be honest, I think our videos have a little bit more time and effort putting into them
I
to
would
try
agree.
to be funny. There's a lot of writing jokes that goes into ours. Nothing is really staged. We just kind of write our jokes and our bits, and we go up and just go out and get our reactions. So
I like that. That's kind of like what we do here. Nothing is. We're just talking and just
Yeah,
going with
yeah.
the flow. It's just
nothing's
like,
really planned for us.
nothing
either.
is planned at all. Like
Except for the topic, and even then,
yeah,
that's
even
like
so,
maybe
yeah, even a lot of
50-50.
those. Yeah, like this is gonna be a hard left segue into something else, but what we were talking about earlier with the Native Americans and Black people. So Javin, and Javin's mentioned this before.
I have.
Was that on camera or off?
No,
camera?
off camera. Well, I guess you're just gonna throw it out.
You
now.
want to say it?
Yeah, I'll say it. In fact, I was gonna do. I thought we were gonna do that as a separate video topic. Like
We
all
can. We
together.
could bring. Well, I mean, we could talk about it now briefly and do a separate video on it.
two. We're doing two
Yeah.
extra for you. I thought, in my mind, Native Americans as a demographic, actually have it worse in terms of their experience in America than African American people.
Very controversial. He is Native American, by the way, which is why we're having the discussion. And he agreed with Javin. And so I just kind of we just want him to kind of go into depth on that a little bit. If you don't mind. If you don't mind.
I study a lot of history.
Right.
Danny actually graduated from UCLA as a history major, so he just kind of.
Intense, wow.
That's another one of the funny things is we put a lot of historical shit into our things that actually happened. So it's fucking,
Okay.
and we make it into a funny thing. But so I've learned a lot more history about Native American, of what we had to go through back when people actually came over here and
Ages ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the topic of Africans being stolen from their land and being taken here, and our land being taken from us, by the same white devil.
Right.
I feel like that coincides, like that kind of cancels. That's even, like that's pretty much
I know,
the
like,
same.
on
Like,
both parts.
I don't ever want it to be like a competition of who has it the worst. Like that's so
Exactly.
lame. Like
That's
both
what
are fucked.
exactly. If anything, I sympathize. I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, we were both in some shit. No offense, Javin.
I get it.
I
Hey.
get that.
But
I would say that you mentioned this earlier that definitely you guys definitely have way more benefits though.
yes, as of terms of now, we definitely have way more benefits
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to Africans when it comes to government assistance, school funding.
Mm-hmm.
And if your tribe is part of or owns a casino, you get sometimes very hefty amounts monthly deposited to you just for being part of the tribe that owns the casino.
Although it is the case that like I think it's 1 in 3 or even 1 in 2, it might be this high, where Native American women are assaulted and attacked, which is it's significantly higher than the normal.
Really?
The normal average.
Yeah, so especially on reservations, it's a really weird. So it's like a whole. Even though the reservation is in a town, the reservation in itself is its own little town. They have their own medical centers. They have their own doctors. They have their own police force that are not tied. So San Manuel is right there in Highland, San Bernardino County, but they are technically not tied to San Bernardino Sheriff, Highland Police. They have their own police force that conducts their own investigations.
Really?
Yes. And on top of that, like I said, a lot of them, you either are on full benefits from the government where they give you a house, you live on the reservation.
Okay.
They're giving you a set amount of income, like almost like welfare and food stamps, if you would. Or you have your tribe's attached to the casino and they give you, like San Manuel is up to $150,000 a month. So there's regular amounts of San Manuel residents up there that receive $150,000 a month. And they are almost kind of, in my opinion, blowing it. So there's a lot of drug and alcohol use.
Right. That's very.
So that's a lot more because they don't have to work. They could get fucked up every day and that money is still gonna come in.
They do that, right? I had an uncle who stayed on a reservoir with my cousin for like 2 years, and they would tell me about like how the they were really heavy into drinking and drugs and all that stuff.
Heavily.
They kind of just did like that was their life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Heavily.
I get that. That's pretty crazy. That's intense.
Yeah, and I mean, I from a certain standpoint, I do understand it. I mean, you have a almost endless flow of income coming in. Like,
Yeah.
who really spends 150,000 a month? I mean, even if I tried my hardest,
Yeah.
blowing it, I would get bored after so many years of spending it. So I kind of get it to a certain extent. But back to the police force, a lot of them hold their own investigations, and it's like a friend of a friend. I know him. I grew up with him.
Oh, okay.
Let's not raise the crime rates, the technical crime rates. If we don't investigate this case, if we let it go undone, the crime rates are technically down because it's an unsolved case.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of politics in there, but yeah, a reservation is like its own separate land. That's why it's a little bit different and the crime rates are a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
Question: why do you think that is though? Why do you think, they have some of them have a decent amount of money. Why do you think they just drink themselves away? Like you were talking to me about, you would invest it and do this and that. Why do you think they don't do that? Why do you think they just kind of don't care?
I think it just comes down to where it almost like rich spoiled kids, after so long, like when your grandfather has money, maybe your dad's gonna work and run a little bit of the business, but are you really gonna do it?
Okay.
It just kind of
Okay.
trickles down. Your parents are getting money, and then once you turn 18 and they're both full-blooded, you're full-blooded essentially, you're going to get the money, they're going to get the money. It's just like an endless flow of cash. So, and there's no discipline with it.
I got you.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
There's
think
no
of that,
one there
Javi?
to really sit there and say, hey, this is what we should be doing with it. Because at the end of the day, casinos are one of like the number one industries all throughout America.
It's pretty, they're pretty
Casinos.
lucrative. I don't know if the extreme excessive wealth applies to all Native American
No,
populations.
Oh, yeah,
It's
no,
just
definitely, yeah.
certain tribes
A
have
very
that
slim
experience.
demo.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot compared to a whole. I believe the ratio is like 1 to 10 Native
Yeah.
Americans get that actual money. The other ones are.
Yeah,
but in the
that's a
same
lot.
sense, there is also no discipline there. They get $500-600 a month, a set small amount. They don't have to pay rent because they live on the reservation. The house was given to them as long as they stay out of trouble on the reservation.
Mhm.
And even then, once I guess it comes down to the mentality of they don't want to get out of it and they're stuck in it. And it's just, I've seen this do this.
They just want to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Almost. There is the few that use it to their advantage or try to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, it's, from like most Native Americans that get the money my age, they're just driving fast cars, not really doing anything. They're not starting a business. They're just.
Because they have money, they don't.
Yeah, they don't have to.
They're not thinking what long term, because they don't have to.
There is
That's
no
what-
long term.
I think that's what it
It's
is.
like it comes in 10 years. It's going to come in 5 years. It's going to come in 20 years.
It's almost like the money to a certain degree has ruined them.
Yes, very much so.
Wow.
Very, very much so. Personally, in my opinion, the ones that are protesting for land, like the Kumuyeye down in San Diego,
Okay.
they're almost a rarity. But even then, some of them aren't attached to casinos. But the ones that are, I don't feel the ones that are attached to casinos are going to be out protesting
Oh,
for
interesting.
other Native Americans.
That is controversial.
I
That is a
personally
bold
believe that.
statement.
Wait,
I
can you
personally believe
repeat that?
So there's different tribes
That was a
throughout
statement.
each state.
That's
There's a statement. That's like,
Right
Okay.
there.
that was a statement.
Powerful. Wow.
Nice.
It's
I
magical,
seen
right?
that. I seen it on the Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
So the different tribes have different benefits essentially. So
Okay.
you only get money if your tribe owns a casino, is attached to a casino. Not every tribe is. So I'm a part of a California tribe that's not attached to a casino. I do not get $15,000 a month. I don't even get $5 a month.
Okay.
I get free healthcare. Shouts out America. But I don't personally believe, like the ones that are protesting for their land in North Dakota or even down here in Southern California, the Kumuyeye, I don't believe the tribes like San Manuel or Morongo out there in Palm Springs, I don't believe they would drive down there to help protest them. Like some of the up northern tribes that, only have and it's not even a nice house. It's almost like a double wide mobile home they're giving
Yeah.
you.
That part I actually am. I knew somebody who's a part of a northern tribe, up in Oregon,
Mhm.
and yeah, not a substantial amount of benefits. Maybe some schooling and some healthcare, but
Pretty
yeah.
much, yeah. So you're really only
No.
getting those benefits from the casino because that's bringing in almost like hundreds of millions.
Yeah,
a
those
month.
casinos bring in a lot of money.
And
They do.
actually, funny rule: if you're a casino in California, you cannot have slot machines unless you are a Native American tribe.
Really?
Really? So from
gotta
Las
research
Vegas
that.
to here, the only slot machines are like San Manuel and Morongo, Pachanga. Like they only those are
I
allowed.
went to an audition there, just fun. Yeah, I tried to get hired there. Anyways, yeah,
Story for another time.
yeah.
Oh wait.
They
Was that
didn't-
after?
This was a few years ago. They
Oh,
didn't
no,
hire
man.
me, which was so weird. Now I'm
Me
talking
neither.
about this because I went there and I remember I had like the most fanciest suit and everything. And I remember calling back the next week and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I remember." He's like, "You were great. We loved your personality. I'm surprised you didn't get the job. So just try applying again, man, because you definitely had it." I was like, "How did I not get it?"
How did you not get it?
It was a really cool interview too. We were in a group and we had to like play with toys and shit. It was fun. Yeah, just side
like a fun time.
sidebar, yeah.
So we've said a bunch of controversial statements in
I'm
this
just gonna
episode.
click that
yeah,
again.
that's just a series of. Just want to clarify, I can't speak for him, but we're not experts by any means. Just a disclaimer
We
there.
always say we gotta let the people know.
If we're wrong in some aspects, please like call us out, tear us down. I genuinely love to hear it. But continuing
yeah, I like
on,
knowing
that-
I'm wrong. I don't like being wrong. I like knowing when I'm wrong, so I'm not wrong again.
no, absolutely, yeah. If I said something like ignorant, then call me out immediately. So while we have you here, I kind of want to go into controversy. You seem to thrive off of it in your content. That's something.
Yeah, that's.
yeah.
So we have a little viewpoint of it. We like to take controversial topics that people usually get offended about, and
Okay.
real comedians, the people that Tom Segura, Bill Burr,
Okay.
Louis C.K.,
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
D'Elia, real comedians that top tier that really write. They take a lot of bold moves, and some of them, bite them in the ass. But it's how you conduct yourself about it. So
Right.
we like to use certain racial terms on the channel, but not in a racial way, only in a comedic way. So there's always going to be the Karens of the world that will still take offense to it.
Right.
But if you break it down, we're not using it to be offensive. We're trying to make an offensive topic funny, if that makes sense.
Like and not to compare you to the comedic genius Dave Chappelle, but
Exactly. No, exactly.
Sticks. You've seen the Sticks and Stones.
Dave Chappelle is one of the
right.
greatest comedians, and
Yes.
we all in our group agree.
But what you're saying is you aim to do kind of something like how would he do?
Exactly.
Okay, I got you. That makes sense. That's
So-
dope. Okay.
We take a lot of controversial topics. I'm Native American. They call me Redskin a lot on the channel, but only in a comedic joke. And I don't take it to offense.
Right.
I call him a hick or redneck. I tell him he fucks his sister all the time. I tell him I want to fuck his sister all the time. And, that's just the energy of our channel.
So how do you think you can tell somebody who, like a Karen? Karen goes onto your channel and they hear your content. How do you think your content is different from actual oppression and actual prejudice? Not that I'm claiming it is. I'm just wondering how you would justify that difference.
How would we justify the difference? Because we're not doing it with the intent. For us, it's the intent behind it.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it with an intent to please not just our fans, but to make anybody who's willing to view our content and give it a chance and actually find that, hey, these guys aren't just being fucking douchebags. They take the time to write real bits, to actually do stuff a little bit more brave than your normal fucking YouTube pranksters that do the same vanilla copycat stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it a billion times.
Exactly.
Okay. So what do you think of people who kind of hate on you for saying all that, saying controversial stuff? Like, how do you respond?
F you, right?
Fucking yuppies. I don't care.
I mean, just to sum it all up, that's what I would think.
At the end of the day, my content is not aimed at them, and it's not made for them. So I don't
exactly. Yeah,
expect them to like it. We make the content expecting a certain group to hate it.
Exactly.
And we're okay with that.
And
we don't want that.
You know your audience too. That's the most important thing I think with content creators.
And our audience is loyal. You don't.
That- and
it's insane.
That's
It is
that's dope
insane.
too. Even with us, like we're obviously still a very new YouTube channel, but even within the comments of what I've seen, I like how in the
really
comments on
nice.
our YouTube channel, it's a reflection of me and Javin's character. Like you guys seem like intellectuals, is what I'm saying. So
They're all very smart.
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
believe- we said one thing and somebody like gave a full,
yeah, I was like, wow.
description, and I'm like,
Shout out
wow.
to whoever that guy was, but
Yeah, wonderful. So you really appeal to your fans and you really appreciate them when they appreciate your content.
Pretty
obviously.
much. We make our content for our fans. We wouldn't be where we're at today without our fans.
Right,
so
right.
like our content is for our fans. I mean, we would love for everyone to enjoy it, and that's how that's how it works out. It's a lot of word of mouth. One fan tells another.
Oh, right.
A lot of our female fans, and I'm not gonna lie, we have a lot of hot chicks that fucking that watch us. Like, it's kind of funny. Every single time we've been out and filming a video, and we get recognized by a girl at a party or something, it's always my boyfriend or my ex-boyfriend showed me you.
Really?
Oh, wow.
And they think it's funny, and then they tell people, some of them tell their girlfriends, and some of them meet us and then start telling everybody, oh, I met this YouTuber, and then word of mouth spreads, but we're just a lot by word of mouth, just from fans telling fans. Like, we don't really we're all on like our socials and stuff, but we don't pay for advertisement.
Just doing it.
Most of the like with Nelk, we've been in a couple. My buddy Danny's been in a couple of Nelk videos. Nelk's been in a couple of our videos. Jesse, Kyle, Steve, the real fucking cool guy. Shouts out to Nelk. Sub to them if you haven't already. Fucking geniuses. But a lot of people, you have to pay for that or network and all that.
Yeah.
No, ours is just by straight connections, word of mouth. Like, hey, we heard you guys are fucking funny and we watched your shit and like it.
You collab, yeah.
No, that's super dope,
amazing.
man. Yeah, that's super dope.
Where do you think because you've met a lot of people through what you've been doing, and a lot of people.
Yeah, pretty much
because of either
networking
through what you've been doing or because of. So you're out there, and you're out there with a lot of different individuals. What is it, 16K?
Yeah, I just hit 16K the other day on Instagram.
Congratulations, that's amazing.
Thanks, guys.
So with that, do you think any of it will come back to bite you? Like, do you think you might have accidentally crossed the line somewhere in your past, or are you against cancel culture? You're like, no, fuck that.
Cancel culture.
My first video, I admitted to snorting meth a couple times.
Oh my god.
Our channel is uncancelable. What we talk about is girls we've had sex with. Danny was in UCLA. He was in a frat. I used to party heavily back in my high school days. Our buddy Leo was on The Bachelorette, so he's lived a pretty wild life since then with everything. So we just riff on each other about our things. Like, that's what we do. Yeah. So if you go through and try to cancel us, good luck. Like, fucking try it.
Don't care.
Our whole channel, everything about us is cancelable. We've molded that into what we do, and we've made it so where it's funny.
So kind of like South Park.
Exactly, South Park.
That's how you live in your life. It's like, we don't take things serious.
We don't care. No.
And like you said, you planned out your bits. You take care to make sure it means something to.
Yeah, Danny spends night and day fucking studying comedy, watching old radio shows, comedic stand-ups, writing constantly. That's what he does.
He sounds really cool.
I love Danny. He's a great guy.
He does sound cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's like me.
Yeah, no, Bryson really does. The day
That's
and
cool.
night.
I write scripts and stuff. I'm a work in
cool,
progress. Yeah, I'm just constantly up all night, just doing stuff, trying to.
This man doesn't sleep.
Get
I've
myself
never seen him
together.
Understandable. I feel it.
So you feel like you've really found your niche. You found how you want to express yourself, and you've got, like you said, loyal fan base, support. Despite how
important,
in fact, because of how controversial what you're doing is. So what do you think about people, other people who try to do stuff like that? Are you encouraging of that, or do you think it should be cautionary? Like, maybe figure your shit out.
It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I will put that out there right now.
That's a good answer.
Not everybody. Well, YouTube in general is not for everybody. Everyone thinks these days, I'm gonna go buy a camera and be a YouTuber and be successful.
It's
and
not that easy.
Oh my gosh! If anybody knew the work that goes
that's
into
what I'm
just
saying.
one video,
it just looks like, just buy a camera, record. No, there's editing.
No, there's writing, there's preparations, there's fundings for it, there's finding a film,
funding,
buying
tripod, camera, lenses, this stuff,
gimbals, shoulder mounts,
this was $700,
filters,
yeah.
Finding someone good enough that you can either afford or that's willing to do it with their knowledge and that will make you shoot you and make you look good.
Right.
Actually getting the content. No one understands the.
Yeah, there's
if
so
you watch
much.
Even any of our bits, no one understands the type of confidence it takes to just go up there and do that. Like, do you know how hard it is to pretend to put on a facade and go up to someone and openly be an asshole and be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm 8 inches."
Confidence.
Do
You gotta not give a fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
do you go into like a different? I've heard some people go into a completely different mentality when
Yeah,
they
we
go
have
into
to.
it. You have to like
when
shut
we're
off.
my normal mentality is too laid back to
Mhm.
do what I do normally every day.
Feel-
People think what our personalities on YouTube or what we are real life, that's fucking exhausting to act like that all day. I could not
Wow.
do that.
Mhm.
I'd rather. Yeah. Okay.
For like the
yeah.
first year, we were like buzzed every video because we needed that little
you needed
I
that
get
little
that.
bit to
Yeah.
get yourself to get through these days.
It's hard. Yeah,
These
well-
bits, some of these things. I mean, like our last video, we each had fake Me Too allegations, and we had to, going up to someone with a fucking picture of you getting your dick sucked, saying like with a very realistic article about you and like getting kicked out of a class for children. You have to go rip on some jokes on that, make people uncomfortable, hoping that they get mad at you and tell you to leave, just as long as they get you through your bit, or hope they're cool and laugh.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That sounds like
It's
a
gonna
lot.
go one of two ways. It's
I
gonna
couldn't
go.
do that.
It can go three ways. They could be completely boring and just like shoo you away and not want anything to do with you. They can have a Karen reaction, which is always wanted, or they can genuinely fucking play into it and be funny,
Right.
and let you riff into your bit and joke a little bit back. So those are the three-way interactions go, and you never know which one is gonna
Right,
happen.
Yeah.
You want the Karen reaction, but that's the most stressful. You have to protect the camera. You have to protect yourself, and all through that time, you have to continue to be witty. You have to continue to keep your facade on
Yeah.
because the camera's rolling. We need to get the footage. We need good content.
Do you like Eric Andre?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Eric Andre.
He and Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love Bo Rat.
and they're amazing comedians. I genuinely appreciate them. But one thing I have to say that I don't envy them is it's dangerous straight up sometimes. Like they've had to go through, like they've had threats of physical violence consistently throughout their lives.
On
gotta be
this
nerve-wracking.
past 2 3 weeks ago, we were in Palm Springs doing the fake Me Too allegations, and it was actually funny. No problem. It was completely unrelated to what we were doing. So I have a Native American headdress. I fucking should have brought it. God damn it. Should have worn it for
Next
this.
time.
Next time. I'll
Yeah.
come back. You guys are close.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's dope.
You guys are cool. I like you guys.
Thank you.
So I was wearing that we were getting like a scene, just like some B-roll footage of us all in a group in our costumes walking through our hotel, because we stayed out there, and just some drunk, ignorant chick comes up and starts pressing me about being Native American.
Really?
serious?
And we love shit like that. Like Leo's Italian. He's a real big guy, but he plays into the Italian role real well. He
Okay.
speaks Spanish. Because a lot of the people we have, there's Archangel Austin, Danny, Leo, Fan Jerry, and then myself. That's the main crew who are usually in the podcast and in the weekly episodic videos.
Right.
So Danny, Jerry, and Austin are like as white as you get. Austin looks straight like fucking Hitler's child.
Oh my gosh.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. Danny's white as can be. So Jerry's pretty white looking too. So like we do get a lot of the racial tension sometimes, but we play it off well. But she came up to me angrily. She was drunk as shit. Like I could smell it off her breath, pressing me about being Native American. And come to find out, I was more Native American than her. And then she ended up getting angry because she walked up. She was like, "Don't film me." I was like, "Well, you walked up to us while we were filming. So if you don't want to be on camera, then like leave, get away from us. We're doing something."
And
She basically just got crazy, and so we took the opportunity to use him for a bit. And my buddy Danny comes in and starts making jokes, and he was like, his first joke was, "You need a loofah for your back." And he gives her the mic and she starts responding. She's like, "Fuck you, you can't film me." And Danny's like, "You have a lot of eczema on your back. I don't like it." And just starts ripping
just
into
keeps
her,
going?
just being fucking funny.
Wow.
And she gets more and more pissed. And till this day, we still don't know if this dude that interacted was like white knighting her and didn't know her, or they were together. But this dude comes up. He's a little intoxicated, and just by his demeanor, you could tell he did not want to talk. He was looking for a fight. He was looking to either try to impress this girl, or that was his girl, and he needed to defend her, he felt. So he's coming up to us, and we're all fairly experienced. I've wrestled and taken a little bit of jiu-jitsu experience. Danny's actually a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and that's a fairly experienced martial artist right there.
Right.
Him versus
more than the average. Yeah.
him versus your normal person on the street is by fair, not a fair fight, no matter what standpoint you're looking at of size, strength, speed, whatever. So this guy's trying to fight our buddy Danny, and Leo's a big guy. Leo's about 6'5", 250. So we're all surrounding him, like trying to calm this guy down, like not trying to be menacing and jump him, give him that vibe. But we're like, dude, you do not want to fight this guy. Like, just relax. Trust me, like it's not what you think. Just trying to defuse the whole situation at this point because we've gotten our footage and now it's turned into a dangerous situation. The guy was trying to attack our cameraman. He was trying to attack Danny. So he kept approaching
sorry,
Danny.
man.
Go ahead, man.
I'm super sorry. It's got a 30-minute timer, so
Yeah,
like,
it's gonna-
but
I feel it.
if you come back, you can finish that story.
Bet, let's do
oh
it.
my god, that's
Episode
awesome.
2.
Let's see
Whatever.
if somebody fucking
cool
dies at
beans.
the end. We don't know. We don't know.
Till next time.
Someone does get
See ya.
arrested, though.